Welcome to the Fasting Podcast, Wow, Wellness and Optimal Weight. I'm your host, Julie Phillips, certified natural health professional. This is episode 86, the hydrogen gut connection. First, let's talk about hydrogen within the body. Hydrogen, if you remember from high school, is number 1 in the periodic table of elements, represented by H. Number is 1, smallest and most lightweight element, and everything else builds on it. Amazingly, about 90% of all atoms in the universe are considered to be hydrogen. Besides hydrogen being a part of water essential to the human beings, hydrogen is also used to make ATP energy, that's adenosine triphosphate, in the mitochondria cellular batteries. Pretty important. Hydrogen is also used to transport nutrients, eliminate toxins, and really crucial to life, part of all living organisms. And there are 2 major ways that we can produce natural hydrogen inside the body for use on these many different functions. The first is good protein digestion. The second way to produce natural hydrogen, reusable for other things, is plentiful, friendly flora, probiotics, the good, healthy organisms doing their thing in plentiful fiber. In other words, a healthy gut situation. These are 2 things that are very important, and I actually had a loved one who was challenged in both situations, the good protein digestion and the plentiful probiotic doing their thing in plentiful fiber in the gut. With these 2 challenges, the person had really terrible heartburn and also snored loudly. And after hydrogen was introduced in a simple way, actually through their water supply, this individual all of a sudden had no more heartburn situation and was not snoring. The person went on a vacation and eventually the symptoms returned back again. And when the person returned to their home where they had the water supply with hydrogen in it, molecular hydrogen, by the way, the symptoms returned. Very intriguing. As it turns out, good protein digestion requires sufficient hydrochloric acid, and hydrogen is needed to make hydrochloric acid. Aha! So the intriguing part especially was the sleep. Well, it turns out from an expert that once a person has the adequate pH with hydrochloric acid to produce what it needs to do for great digestion, it could also affect the rest of the respiratory tract as well, and therefore the snoring was affected simply by adding hydrogen. I was very impressed of the need for hydrogen. A common misconception is that if we have water in our bodies, H2O, then we definitely have H2. It sounds like it should be true. Absolutely not true. So here's where chemistry comes into place. If you picture a water molecule, picture a big oxygen circle or atom, and then a little hydrogen connected on the left and a little hydrogen atom connected on the right. That's H2O. So the 2 hydrogens are not connected to each other. Instead, both of them are separately connected to the oxygen atom. Water's crucial. Can't live without it. Very important. But we're going to learn a little bit now about molecular hydrogen. In certain situations, you can have some of these little hydrogen atoms come off the oxygen atom and bind directly to each other. And that's called molecular hydrogen or diatomic hydrogen, and there is a nonprofit website that you can learn more about that. In fact, at the time I did the most study, and I have been certified in molecular hydrogen, there were 170 plus human diseases per over 700 studies saying that molecular hydrogen has been proven to help with diabetes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, osteoporosis, hypertension, and very importantly, chronic inflammation. H2, molecular hydrogen, also called diatomic hydrogen, is a very powerful selective and primordial antioxidant. So we know antioxidants are very valuable in keeping us from prematurely aging, but did you know that they're actually helpful free radicals in the body And the fact that H2 is selective means that it will only neutralize the harmful free radicals, and the most cytotoxic free radicals that are prematurely aging and damaging us in the body are called OH, hydroxyl radicals. So when the H2 and the OH combine, voila, it can create brand new water molecules that didn't even exist before. This can contribute H2 to homeostasis or balance in the body. It can stimulate something called ghrelin production, which is a key factor when someone is challenged with autism, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Actually, there was a NASA study in 2015 that H2 could also help with radiation protection. Interesting. And it also can help the human growth hormone and glutathione production by the body naturally. It can actually stimulate mitochondria to function when it's not functioning currently and help reduce chronic inflammation and aid obesity. People that follow this podcast are often concerned with both inflammation and overweight. H2 is a gas. It is not a liquid or a physical substance, so ways to get it in your body are to let the body create it internally, or you could inject it, not very desirable on my part, inhaled, again not desirable, or dissolved in water, and that's a nice way. In some rare parts of the world, there are waters that are referred to as healing waters, and this is very pure, pristine water where people live to very old ages, very, very healthy, and the key is believed to be not just the purity, but also the amount of H2 or molecular hydrogen in the healing waters. Very interesting that this seems to be a key factor, and when you have pure water with molecular hydrogen, it can help address these anti-aging characteristics: dehydration, toxicity, the free radicals that prematurely age us or sort of rust us from the inside out, and inflammation. There was one study done of type 2 diabetes with H2 where 75% of the type 2 diabetics in that study actually normalized their IGT scores, which is impaired glucose tolerance. That's pretty impressive. It's also very anti-inflammatory, and an abstract in a 2010 publication stated that it is not an overstatement to say that hydrogen's impact on therapeutic and preventive medicine could be enormous in the future, and that was PubMed. So out of the anti-aging characteristics that we can address with pure H2 water, one of them is those selective antioxidants. So beautiful, where it can create water while neutralizing only the damaging free radicals and also addressing inflammation, referred to as the silent killer. Convenient ways to get more hydrogen is, wow, why don't we improve our protein digestion, including just saying no to heartburn. Keep our liquids away from the meals. We've done a previous episode on heartburn. Enzymes are a plus with meals, right before the meals, and even away from meals. Plentiful probiotics and plentiful fiber. So you remember the good protein digestion and the plentiful probiotics doing their thing in the plentiful fiber. They can not only help create usable hydrogen, but also bring enormous other benefits to our health above and beyond the hydrogen production. If an ionizer is considered, ensure that there's very high filtration and a focus on the H2, not on a high pH. So ideally, a neutral pH where you don't modify with an ionizer. You simply super purify the water, you create the molecular hydrogen, but you don't modify this pH acid-alkaline balance of the source water. I am not a fan of drinking high alkaline water, especially near the meals. And if you want to use tablets with elemental magnesium or drops that can actually create hydrogen in a bottle of water, a capped bottle of water, for example, you can use these for travel, but they're really nice to see if, hey, I wonder if my big heartburn problem could be resolved with additional hydrogen. So it's a nice way to check. Possible next steps: focus on great digestion, including protein digestion. I would keep my liquids away from the meals, chew thoroughly, consider enzymes. No heartburn reflux. In other words, do not let that be a part of your life. That is absolutely a big reason to be on my prayer list. Plentiful probiotics doing their thing in plentiful fiber. Now, if you are interested in access to superior, pure H2 water, an ionizer machine, H2 tablets or drops, you can get them all from the same place with a discount in the cart at www.wowh2water.com, WOWH2WATER.com. For questions or suggestions, contact me, Julie, at jpwowprograms.com. Please refer others to our podcast and check out our website that has a weekly blog article, access to our favorite Wow Natural products at wholesale prices, and the new Wow Lifeboat Freedom video system at www.jpwowprograms.com. Stay positive, folks, and determined, because where the mind goes, energy flows.